Hey guys, I'm April from Giggle Glitter Graphics, and today we're working on part 4 of the Curioflora files. These files have been written by the mysterious Bloom Keeper, a collector of rare and magical flowers. Each week, you get a letter from the Bloom Keeper, as well as a recipe, information about the flower they found, and their notes. This is a free project series going out to members of my email list, but if you'd like to join us, you can sign up using the link in the description down below and have this project sent to you immediately. This series has been inspired by stories from 5 of my past story junk journal kits. This week, the Bloom Keeper has visited a fairy village from my Acorn Festival kit. I'll talk more about the Acorn Festival and its matching kits at the end of the video. There are 4 sheets in today's download, plus another copy of that backer paper from part 1. We're going to use the same backer paper through this series, so I'm going to give you a new copy of that every week. It's this stripe pattern here. You are printing 3 of these pages on paper. I use 32-pound paper, and 1 page will be on cardstock. I use 110-pound cardstock, and that's going to be for the page with this flower on it, as well as the fussy cut, which you can see here. Remember, I do put instructions at the top or the side of each page saying what paper to use and if it needs printed on the back side. I do highly recommend printing the back side of the envelope, and then the back of the letter is optional. I like mine to be finished, but this is folded up inside the envelope, so it's not really necessary if you want to save ink. I'm going to go over my supplies super quickly. You're going to need scissors or something to cut everything out. Your paper trimmer will also be useful for some of these larger kind of rectangular pieces. I'm using a liquid glue, Beacon Fabri-Tac today. You'll need the liquid glue for your envelope assembly, but after that, you can use a glue stick. I recommend Uhu glue stick. I am going to use my Fabri-Tac for everything. That's just my preference, and it's nice and fast and neat for videos. I have used distress ink on the edges of everything. I used vintage photo distress ink and aged mahogany. And let's see, I used vintage photo on the letter today, as well as the recipe, and then aged mahogany on the flower card, the envelope, and the little notebook. I didn't use anything on the edge of the fussy cut. I might do it later, I'm not sure. Probably not on this one since it's so light colored. I'm not really bothered by the white edges, so that I'll probably leave be. So these pieces are identical to the pieces from the last 2 weeks, and they will be identical to the pieces to the next 2 weeks because we're focused on storytelling. Everything is in this letter, where the Bloom Keeper went, what they experienced, what they came back with. So it's about the letter and then all of the information about that flower. This week's flower is Autumn's Delight, and its story kind of ties into the story from the Acorn Festival, which I'll go over later. So these pieces are basically identical in shape and assembly from the last 2 weeks, and they will be for the next 2 weeks. So I am highly encouraging you guys to deviate from what I am doing here and do your own thing. If you do create something totally different from these pieces, I'd love to see them in the Facebook group, and you can find a link to that in the description down below as well. So even though you're familiar, I will still run through the assembly, just in case some of you like to craft along. So I've got my envelope, and I'm going to grab my Fabri-Tac, and you're just going to fold that envelope, fold those tabs in, fold the bottom up, fold the top down so that you get a piece that looks like this. And we're going to run that glue right from this angle down. We don't need it from the angle up because there is not going to be anything glued down to that. So it's just going to be out and open, and if you put glue on there, you're probably going to glue your flap shut. So there is that, and we're going to set that to the side to dry. I'm going to grab my fussy cut pieces. These are just going to go back to back. Again, cutting by hand, cut out and identifying corner or two, a couple of different places so that you can line them up, glue them together, then finish your cutting. And that's going to give you a nicer cut all the way around than trying to cut them individually and then putting them together. And I am just going to scribble some glue on there. And there we go. We'll grab the notebook next, fold it in half tall ways, fold it in half to create a little book, then open it all the way back up and glue the back sides together that tall way. go. And this little notebook has lots of fun information about our flower in it. You can see my fold got just a little off, so I'm going to grab my scissors and just trim that up a bit. Make that disappear, and then I can always put a little more distress ink on that to blend it in better. But that is much better. Got our recipe for harvest petal scones. This is, I must note, not a tested recipe, so I probably wouldn't bake this, especially since we're using flower petals from a magical make-believe flower. So I'm just gonna glue, this is folded in half, and then you just glue the backs together. And then we have an information card about Autumn's Delight. That's just gonna fold in half and glue as well. So again, same assembly as the previous 2 weeks. I went very story forward this time. I wanted to have a nice, neat little file of goodies for you to explore and really get the storytelling aspect of this. And finally, we have our letter. I'm going to fold this like I always do, where I flip it over, find the center, fold up, and fold down using the envelope as a guide to make sure this is going to fit inside. Then I'll just pop that in there like so. And we're going to grab our file and flip to the pocket that has the fall theme inside. I'm just going to drop everything down in here. If you feel like your fussy cuts are going to be lost in there, you can put them in the envelope so that they don't get disappeared into the abyss that is the pocket. Now, if you get this pulled all the way open, you can really see what's down in there. And so when you're going through it later, it might be harder to miss those extra pieces. But if you feel like your fussy cuts are getting lost, you can tuck them into the envelope with your letter. And I'm going to wrap that back up. And that's it for our file today. And now I'm going to show you a little bit about the Acorn Festival and then the Fall Festival Stalls kit. I also have a paper kit. I'm not sure if I have those printed out here. I print these, test print them whenever I design them, and then put them in these little pocket folders. And so I've gone through my backlog of things I haven't made journals with. And so I'm going to go over this in a minute. But we have there's a lot of little cute things, little envelopes and things. We have the Acorn Festival, and the Acorn Festival has a cute little story that's told over a series of journal entries. I believe there are 6 journal entries from the perspective of a fairy that tell a cute little story about the festival. There are 6. And then this is, let's see, those are the festival stalls. I'm a little less organized today, I guess. So, but you can see there's a whole festival theme. There are some pockets from the kit, some of the papers, more pockets, some journal cards. We've got covers. Most of my story kits do come with these cover panels to make a quick, easy cover. So I've got a couple different ones for you for our fairy village. And then here are some more. And this has some flavor text from the story on it. So just got that fall festival vibe going on. As you can see. And then the Fall Festival Stalls kit is exactly that. It's a smaller kit that has we've got some menu items and sweet treats, savory dishes. There are, let's see, some sheets that have little stalls, and it has descriptions of what the stalls smell like and little banners of what they have for sale. So you can really kind of explore the festival. And both of these together, I think, would make just a great journal. And I will pop up some pages from the paper set. It's a little standalone paper set. There's some more papers in here. I actually think that very unorganized right now. There's somebody using a jackhammer outside. So I'm trying to keep myself together. So anyway, I will link all 3 of these kits in the description down below if you're interested in the Acorn Festival, the Fall Festival stalls, and then the Fall Festival papers. That collection, I think, would make a beautiful journal. And then if you want a little freebie to go with it, this little folder is a freebie that you may have already if you've been with me for a while. I will link the sign up page for this in the description down below as well. Lots of links down there. So you can grab this to make for free and be signed up for my email list. As always, thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, participating in the Facebook group. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you in the next video.